Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and so glad to be hanging out with you all again here tonight because we keep on jamming on moving the narrative forward with AI Agents.box, and this is now our 14th day, our 12th office hours, and we had earlier today our office hours for myira.fund. And office hours, this is really geared towards just kind of like continuing to move the dialogue forward. And we're going to talk about our schedule for the upcoming week here, because that's one of the things that was a priority in building a solid community. And AI Agents.box, we're really wanting it to be the on-chain community for AI. And as somebody that loves building community, I've never been more excited personally about a technology evolution that I would believe is possible with AI agents. And that being said, this is our Google Docs over here. And again, our office hours is really designed to be casual, but I always want to talk about our Feld culture. I do love our Feld culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. And this is a template that we've been using for this 180-day sprint, this live stream challenge marathon. If you want to unpack what that looks like, you can go to the home tab. You'll land over here. I'm not going to go through that right now. Want to create a little blip of content to really do that. But right now, we're wanting to create a minimum viable product for AI Agents.box, but also going to be focusing on launching a branded AI agent. And you can see a little bit of what that looks like here under teams and brand. Again, we've been most focusing on myira.fund. But I'm going to pop over here at aiagentsbox.org, which redirects to our link tree. And I'll make this a little bit bigger here on my screen for everybody's benefit. It might already be bigger. Let me refresh this here. Need to close some tabs, I think, my computer. But anyway, our events calendar, this opens up, and I'm going to open this up in another tab. So I'm going to get some more things on the event, but the one that's coming up here tomorrow is ilocal.fyi, and this is one that I would encourage everybody because this is going to be the very first iLocal FYI working group. And we've already created quite a bit of stuff on Invest Local. So we're going to be kind of seeing what we can transition, see about what we need to create new. But this will be a great opportunity because iLocal FYI is our sister organization and AI Agents.box. And I'm not going to unpack what that all means right now, but that will become a lot more apparent in the forthcoming weeks and weeks. This is our second week of 25 weeks on this 180-day live stream. But anyway, enough rambling from me. I'm going to just take a brief pause to see what you all would like to talk about. My friends with me here tonight that are helping to launch AI Agents.box.
Yeah, no, just looking forward to doing things.
I think that there's not a whole lot other things that we need. So let's just get in. I put here set up splits for our on-chain ambassadors. All of us that are on here will be our founding on-chain ambassadors for launching AI Agents.box. Not going to unpack what all the vision is for on-chain ambassadors, but really the goal is to train and educate people about on-chain technology. And really, like one of the core beliefs that I have is that for most people on this planet, probably 95 to 99% of the people, probably 99% of the people, an extra $500 a month is life-changing money. And that's one of the things that we're going to be very intentional about creating economic incentives up and down while we're looking to achieve the network effect because network effects is really where the magic happens. So anyway, set up splits for our on-chain ambassadors. Let me open up the browser profile for AI agents.box. And I think that we've got what we need. I'm going to go here to unlock protocol real quick. I'm not sure what that address is, if that's the right one, but we'll know momentarily. Founding member, this is not the right one. So let's go back to locks. So created this one. This is the one that we're wanting to use. Not going to unpack why, but so here on the AI agents box, so we have our founding member NFT in place. And this all looks good here. And you can see we haven't deployed any locks and we're creating the workflow here. And this might be a good segue. We've been talking about doing meet with.xyz. And one of the going over here to this Google Docs, I'm going to shrink the teams, collapse that, collapse the progress. So over here, these are the main tabs that we have: home, teams, brand, progress, super agents, funding, and content. Content is the what I was wanting to talk about because one of the things that we need to get coordinated is our upcoming tools working group. We've got the workflow automation, and I'm going to actually digress here. I used Venice. I think this is one of the things that was new. Did you see this image that I created? How do you like this, everybody? For my mechanical cupcake for this workflow automation.
Ah, that's a nice one.
So he's got, you can see Cupcake Head. He's a cupcake robot. Um, and I put in here, destroy the box. It's got a little explosion in the box. And this is one of the things that I think as we start deploying our own AI agencies, the quality of these images are going to get a lot better. But this is one that will be our NFT image for this particular day. And this is the workflow automation. And I'm going to throw an invite link in here. Hopefully, we've got a few people that have registered for it. Let me throw this in the restream here so that everybody, if anybody's on too, on the restream or on the live stream, be sure to chime in some thoughts. I'm going to say hello. Uh, please RSVP for our upcoming tools workflow automation working group. And here's the link, throwing that in the let us meet, or not the let us meet, but anyway, going back, what I wanted to do is we wanted to create the next tools working group. So our tools working group, our fourth one, is coming up on Wednesday. So we're going to use Meet with Wallet, Meet with, well, and it's just now Meet with. They took out Meet with Wallet. So meet with.xyz. Sorry, I just saw a Zoom message pop in here. So let's see. I don't know if we need to do my groups, meeting settings. Let's see. New meeting. So we're going to call this duration. Let me see if I don't know if I can change the duration. Let's see. Meeting settings. New meeting type. Back. I'm going to put a title working. I'm going to just put one hour. 1 hour. Create. Oh, I forgot to change the meeting duration. Edit. Meeting duration 60 minutes. Save. So let's see. New meeting duration 1 hour. And let's call this Bitcoin passport. Tools working group 5. And let me actually get some other stuff here. Passport. And the reason that we're prioritizing having a working group on the Gitcoin Passport is this founding member NFT. And let me go back there real quick on the Unlock app. So this founding member NFT, we've got this is at a very low price point, 7 USDC. And the reason that we're having it, you think about like having 100 founding members, it would only cost somebody $700 to buy out all of the founding members. And by having a Gitcoin passport, like let's say that somebody had a bunch of wallets and a bunch of cash, they could absolutely buy out all of our founding member NFTs. And this is something that we're wanting to create some proof of humanity. And Gitcoin passport is integrated within Unlock. So the plan right now is to put a Gitcoin passport score of 20 and have that be a requisite or a prerequisite for somebody being able to buy our $7 a year founding member NFT. So let's see. Enter participants. I want to discover a time. And I don't know if I need to put something else in here. When not sure. I'll have to come back to this. Let me put a note here on our progress for our document for today. Yonks will circle back on the meet with for Gitcoin Passport Tools Working Group. And this is actually something that we discussed before setting up our splits for our on-chain ambassadors. So one of the things that I was working with a little bit was, and I'm not even going to bring that up because I don't think it's helpful, but let's go to our back here. So splits.org, splits.org. And this is something that we set up the other night with for doing our blogging configuration. And I'm actually logged in here with AI agents.box. So we're wanting to do, and let's see here. I think we've got some contracts in here. I was hoping to see it in the. So let's do a new contract. Going to do, and here's different types of contracts. We're just going to do a simple split on this one, but we're going to do it on base. Make this bigger here for everybody.
Jason, you're still muted.
What we're wanting, thanks, Tyler. What we're wanting to do is set up, was I coughing on the mic or did I not have it? Anyway, apologies if I was coughing, trying to get rid of this cold here. So looking here, going back to our safe global, I've got the, we created the other day our wallet for AI agents.box. I'm going to bring that on the screen as soon as I get it open here. Okay, so the first one that we're going to want, first one that going to create is for myself if I refer people. So here's the AI agents safe. And let me go over here to the splits. So let's see, put this address in, copy. Oh, I copied the base. So this gets 50%, and then Yonk's team .eth. Oh, I want Yonk's .eth here. So that's Yonks.eth, 35%. And then Yonks.eth. And here's the visualization for this right here is um, and one of the things that we want to do, and I'm not sure what it'll look like as far as from a workflow standpoint, because our workflow is going to improve substantially. But this provides a simple visualization of how that I'm setting this up. This doesn't have, let me actually move this down here. Oh, I didn't get this one. Or what I did, I think I locked this. I did lock. Have you used Figma? Anybody else on the call here before? I like using Figma for visualization.
A little bit, but sometimes I use Miro. I'm kind of more familiar with that.
So this is safe AI agents. Just going to take off the .eth. So this is the one that creating here. When I refer somebody, this is how it's going to flow up right here. So let me get this in here. So and then the final recipient is the Yonks team. And again, not sure how long I'm going to use this because really wanting and expecting the oh expecting this to go into the WordPress because and again this that might change because we might decide that it makes sense to just do this on chain and I don't know if there's a great way to do this on chain. I did find out what the distribution bounty was. This is to get the smart contract to um, automatically flow out. And one of the things that I think would be some good things to do is um, do it flowing out the rewards, the on-chain ambassador rewards via a live stream. So I'm going to toggle this to off right now. And I'm going to set this as immutable where we can change this later. This isn't something that expecting to change. Um, and let me actually should I make it immutable or not immutable? You all tell me.
The commission split or the wallet delivery? What are you asking whether you can change it or not?
So if we make it mutable, we'll be able to change it later. If it's immutable, it won't be able to be changed. I
So
don't think it really needs to be changed later. Um,
yeah, I think it probably set it up right. And if we mess it up, I guess we always
I mean, we
fix on
could
the back.
just make a new smart contract. So this is going to be the what do we want to call this? The and I think that this is only AI agents.box plus on-chain ambassador.org for yonks.eth. I think that makes sense, don't you all?
Yeah, I think it'd be good. I think immutable in general will give people more confidence, especially when we're talking about stuff that's going to recur annually, and that they know that we're not going to screw them over later by being like, "Oh, just kidding, we're a bunch of money. We're just going to change that to something else."
So I was just getting a screenshot here because I am a screenshot junkie. Because where we're going to use this is the goal is to use it in the unlock. This is something that we can configure within the unlock smart contract where we can add ourselves as a referral. And this is something that I've played around with a little bit, but it's not something that have a lot of experience. But splits.org is a widely utilized tool in the ecosystem for doing exactly this. And like Paragraph are where we're doing our blog. That's one of the tools that they recommend for doing exactly this sort of thing. And this is just one of the things that we need to do is need to create a um, smart contract database within Charmverse for AI agents.box where we capture this sort of information. And this is, again, something that we could potentially automate if we start using splits a lot in the future. I think a lot of this functionality can be done programmatically. So let's see how long that it will take. So here's the visualization of that split. And this is something here that I want to figure out. This is something that we were talking about, getting this to visualize like aiagents.box and safe.yonksteam.eth down here. But here is a immutable split that we just created for aiagents.box plus onchainambassador.org for yonks.eth.
So
So
basically,
go
that's
ahead, Ernest.
that square box on the left is the smart contract, and then when tokens go into that contract, it just splits it out between the other three, right?
Yeah, and what will happen, because there's going to be two manual workflows that happen here, and this is again something that we can look at potentially automating like this with since we made this immutable. I don't know if we'll actually be able to flip the switch to make it where we can distribute the balance automatically, but that's okay because like one of the other things I already mentioned here that this will be some great content. And like going over here, there's some other workflow that we have to create. Like, I don't know what it looks like to automate things from an unlock standpoint, because right now the goal is to use this split contract that we just created here with an unlock where somebody would have to say, hey, I was referred to, and this is one of the attestations that we need to make, is saying, hey, when somebody onboards, they need to say, hey, I was referred to by Yonks or Ernest or I am Lotus or Mrs. Yonks. And that's the kind of workflow that I believe will be fairly easy for us to create like a pull down menu where they will have to refer what are those for. And if we want to change that later, like if we start, getting enough organic content and other things like that, like, you know,
So
go ahead, Ernest.
so they buy an NFT, right? Ultimately,
Yeah, so it's a AI agents dot box founding member that's $7 a year.
okay, that's Unlock. So they're buying the NFT from Unlock.
Well, not from Unlock, because Unlock is just a protocol. They're
They're
buying it
buying it.
from
They're buying it
us
through.
because we
They're, they're buying it through Unlock. So think of like Stripe
Yeah,
or
but it's
PayPal
it's
or Venmo.
it's the Unlock contract that you build in Unlock.
correct, but we're the controller of that contract. Like
Yeah.
AI age, yeah.
So so they go to your website, you say you show them the NFT that's buy this, and it essentially they purchase then the Unlock NFT. But then somehow you're saying you don't know how purchasing. So then they go into, for example, Discord, which is gated by that NFT. And then in Discord, you ask for, hey, who referred you? Or at some
No,
point,
so what will
but like
happen
when does, or is it
here,
buy
it'll be on.
NFT before you complete checkout, make the attestation,
No,
and
so
then
and this is something if we want to go through, we can absolutely go through because we're planning to use deform right here. And this is using deform, a form, is
Yeah.
where we can have a pull down where somebody would say, who referred you to AI agents dot box? Yonks, Mrs. Yonks, I am Lotus, Ernest. So it'd be
yeah.
four choices right now. Now, like this isn't going to scale well, and this is where we need to increase the workflow here over time. But this is one of the value propositions of us having
So
a
how do they
limit.
go? how do they go from, I'm just trying to understand just the process. It doesn't matter what the tools are, but so
Yeah.
at
So
some
let
point there's a process where they purchase an NFT. At some point there's a process where they fill out a form. That form then uh essentially when they complete that form, they are attesting to who referred them,
So like
right?
here on our link tree, what we'll do is like uh probably here under stay informed, because like stay informed is how that will create like some awareness for people to potentially become a member. Because one of the things that we're going to do, like right now, we're talking
Okay.
about a
It's
paid
really hard
member.
to get a straight answer about just the process,
No,
not the extra stuff.
it's not it's I'm not being extra.
Yeah.
Deform has the capability. So we're going to put a link here that says join and become a member. And
Yeah.
then that'll take to the Deform. And then that's where we can control the workflow where who referred you, who invited you. We're going to use an
Hey,
invite.
Jason, is there a way to just set up a pretty link or whatever that just so that they don't have to select it? It just if they come in on your link, it's yours.
That's
So,
something that we're going to be baking in later.
Okay, so Ernest, I think this is I think this is the noise. So in the beginning, you're going to be onboarding people who you know personally who will pick you, and as this thing grows and you're onboarding people who don't know you through whatever means, then by that point we'll have it all automated, so it'll be a link. They won't have to pick you. It'll just be your person because it's your link. Does that make sense?
no. Okay, so they go to the website, there's a link to a form, they fill out the form. When they submit the form, then uh that does their attestation, right? Um, does it also complete the checkout of the unlock NFT?
So, yeah, that's one of the things that will happen in order for them to get their proof of membership using Unlock, and that's something that Unlock already has. Like, have you ever bought an NFT using the Unlock workflow?
Yeah, I've built them out.
Yeah,
So,
so you know how all that works. Have you there's a refer capability within Unlock where we will add our splits. So and there'll be a
oh,
couple mechanisms.
well, you
Like
add this. So, so the if there's a form in the unlock checkout process, so this is what I'm trying to understand.
so
Does
right
the
right here
attestation
under
happen within the checkout process of purchasing the NFT, or does the attestation happen before or like separately? Because if you're saying there's a form in unlock where they attest,
no,
then it
it's not
doesn't make
it's not a
sense.
form in Unlock. We're planning to use deform.cc, which is now known as Mega. The deform.cc now redirects to Megaphone. And like if we're running a little short on time, but I mean if we want to begin creating a deform, we can absolutely do that right now because that's where we
I'm
can
just
have.
trying to create a flow chart. This is what you don't have. You don't have a flow chart. It's just a box. Like the tools
Well,
don't matter without
no,
having
no.
the
Let's call
process
it
of the flow chart.
a user journey because that's going back to we're wanting to create a user journey for how to onboard a new person. So let's talk about um, action item is to create a user journey for onboarding new members at $7 a year into AI agents box and planning to use mermaid.js for documenting uh, things such as user journeys. So like let me bring open here real quick
Yeah.
a
Do
user.
you got the flow chart of that user journey somewhere?
Let me show you a user journey that created for uh this isn't it won't be as complicated for what we're looking here at $7 because there's a big difference of a price point of $7 versus over here a user journey that I created. So like this may be a very similar process for user journey that we create for after we're already like with my IRA.fund, we've already onboarded 100 people and we're looking to go from phase zero, our alpha phase, to phase one, our beta phase. And here with my IRA.fund, instead of being a $69 price point, it's going to be with my IRA.fund, unless we decide to change it, a $97 a year price point. I don't know if we're going to be able to deliver my IRA.fund at that low of a price point from a cost standpoint, but that's something that we can decide after but like here, you think about
Yeah, go back to
creating
the user journey.
yeah, yeah. So social ad, this is going to be a primary mechanism. I mean, Facebook, Instagram, like on Meta, there's over 3 billion
Yeah,
people.
I
So,
understand.
so yeah, Facebook ad, webinar. This will be like a free webinar. And then over here, we're going to sell a bundle. So this is some verbiage that we need to do. We're going to sell the network bundle, whether it's my IRA fund or whatever. And then that will be a transaction. And then one of the things that we're going to create is our onboarding boot camp as a benefit for the people over here. So this is something that was very easy. This user journey here was very easy to create using Mermaid. I think that there's even I can't remember what tool that it was, but it literally took me less than 5 minutes to create this user journey. And creating a user journey, that's one of the things that really want us to get documented, and then the opportunity for us to evolve that after
I
we
want the
refine.
checkout. I want the checkout journey.
So and that's we're going to create the checkout journey right now with Unlock here for phase zero across our entire ecosystem, and that will likely shift to a WordPress checkout dynamic, but that's still a question mark because a lot can happen during our phase zero launch. So our checkout is going to happen via Unlock protocol plus Deform plus Unlock protocol. So
Question,
let's yes,
Jason.
go ahead.
Uh, on the checkout, if you said Unlock has an affiliate point in their process, couldn't we have like a code that we can put in and it automatically, once that code is in there, that your referral put in, uh, it could automatically trigger the split, like unlock protocol already knows this money belongs to you. Is that available in unlock?
So uh there's a referral fee functionality here in Unlock. And this is something, since we are doing our referral or handling that via splits to accommodate the two-tier dynamic here. So this is the first one that created. So here we're going to want to put the 100%. Let me go back over here. So custom refer address. Uh, and let's see. And I think this is where we put in the smart contract here. So this is where I just put in the smart contract for the one that we just created and put in the 100% because all of this slicing is going to happen via splits, right? So we send 100% from the smart contract over here to this one. So this is where we have some custom workflow. So this smart contract is for me, Yonks.eth, which is why that we named it over here AI agents.box. So like Now we could create one for let's do let's do one for IM Lotus. So let's do a new contract split. So this is where we're gonna have 50% go to, and I need to label this. I'm pretty sure that this is over here. So safe AI agents, that's where we want 700F. That's for AI agents box.eth. And let me see if that's, I'm going to open this in a new tab, app.splits. It's the one that we just created. Dashboard.
I dropped the image of the chat. Curious if that's accurate, simple, accurate mental map.
So I'm going back to this one, yeah. So 700F is AI agents.box, and that's where we're wanting 50% to go. So 50%, and then this is where IM Lotus would get 35%. 35%. And then I would get 15. So making this immutable distribution bounty, we're going to turn off. Off. Name. And I have that on the clipboard here. Let me make sure that I get this smart contract here, because since it's immutable, it doesn't show in the controlling dashboard. Enter name. Some more copy and paste. And this is the sort of thing, like I said, if we did want to use this at scale, I think that this is something that we could create programmatically. But again, not sure if it makes sense to have this be entirely on chain or if we want to use another system, but that's a decision that we can make here, ideally before phase 0, before we go into phase 1, where we're looking to onboard the next 1,000 people. Phase 0 is only about onboarding the first 100. So here's me doing the, and I'm going to get a screenshot of this. This is our second splits that we're creating here on our working group. And this is for the workflow. And again, like, don't know if we're going to continue to do this, but if we do, this will be happening more automatically through programmatically the agents that we'll be creating through AI agents. So let's get the, wait for this to refresh. So here's what that split looks like. So this is where we would get that, and I'm going to copy this in here. So going back to the dashboard, this is where creating the custom refer address. And this is the first time that I've ever used splits in Unlock. And again, 100% here, apply. This is another transaction. Setting new referrer. And again, this isn't something that we would want to do manually with any sort of scale. My expectation would be that this is something that we could automate. And quite honestly, like we want to be great stewards of who that we onboard as on-chain ambassadors. And this is something that we're going to steward very closely because that's who's going to be the voice for our ecosystem brands. And that's really an opportunity for us to educate and train and like make sure that people are doing things responsibly. And that's one of the things, best practices, find, implement, and refine. So we created two refers, and there's some additional checkout processes that have to be done because this doesn't get applied to any sort of workflow. So this is where we'll have to create processes for these refers to be used in various things. So it does look like that there's an upgrade available. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to version 15 of this lock right now. And this is just thinking out loud. We've had a little bit of conversations around funding. I've been off and on involved in various decrees of time as far as with the Unlock DAO, and I do still regularly participate in Unlock DAO. But this just shows you like here, just upgraded to version 15 of the lock. So do a refresh. So this is version 15. This is one of the other nice things that I love about Unlock is that the smart contract is upgradable and the team continues to add more and more features over time. So and this is something I'm not sure how well that we'll be able to test out this workflow because this is all on production. And this is one of the things like, at a $7 dynamic, like with how fast that we need to move. But anyway, I hear somebody's got an open mic and we're looking at the time. We're already 1 minute past our scheduled time, and I always want to be respectful of everybody's time. So
Yeah, I just dropped the flowchart into the chat, and I'm curious if that's just basic accurate description of the user journey.
is this the one that you're talking about here?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. And it could be and I'm not sure what the attest referral process will look like because and that's something that will potentially that we can improve upon because because that's one of the things that needs to happen, I think, in a fairly short period of time, because that needs to be once it's been attested, that's something that can't change. Because like you think about what we're talking about here, messing with people's money can be a very touchy subject. And when we're talking about paying out generous affiliate referrals to our on-chain ambassadors, this gets in
Yeah,
the territory of messing with people's money. Go ahead, Tyler.
that's the biggest thing that we're going to need to fix is like Amy was talking about, we need to have a link that's just set like any website that's got affiliate links. It's if you actually look at the URL, there's some like question mark referral code, blah blah blah, whatever in the link.
I
We just need that.
I think that may be possible here, but there's also some things that happen because, like, sometimes people can come in through different channels that's not a link, and we need to be sure that it's very clear on both sides of the fence from the on-chain ambassadors and then also the people that are coming on board is that we're really creating this to be we're wanting it to be an inclusive community by invitation only. And that's something that we also need to build into our ethos, an inclusive community by invitation only. And that's one of the things that we want to responsibly as on-chain ambassadors invite people. And this is one of the things that like creating content. We're going to be talking about creating content. We're functionally creating a shit ton
Uh,
of content right now through our live streaming and
Jason,
like
I
yes,
have
go ahead. Yes.
how can you control that if you're posting it on social media? and people respond. How can you control that? Because some people you haven't met, but
So
are interested.
this is where, like, having a link like what Tyler alluded to, and this is something that you can, like, there's ways that you can post on social media if you want to share about different things, and this goes back into being responsible actors, because if we as on-chain ambassadors just start spamming links to aiagents.box, we're going to end up on the shit list of Facebook and Meta, because they don't want people spamming a bunch of links outside of their thing. So this is one of the things that we need, and same thing with unlock protocols. So this is where we're going to have to really
I'm
talk
not
about
even
best.
talking about spamming. I'm like, if you're posting and you have the information there and people respond, people that you don't know that are
Well, here's the thing. You might not feel that it's spamming, but somebody that sees that on the other end may. And this is like, we might not feel that it's spam, but somebody else may, and that doesn't prevent them from potentially reporting something as spam, because like all of these social platforms, especially Facebook, Instagram, the big dogs have very refined algorithms, and it's very easy to get domains blacklisted. And this is one of the things that we're again going to really foster responsibility and best practices, so that we don't get our brand domains shitlisted or blacklisted on social media platforms. So I'm not going to pretend to be a social media expert, but I do know that that sort of behavior absolutely exists, just from how
I,
much that I've. Go
I
ahead.
I'm already talking about people that respond to your post, people that wanted to join. How can we
So
control who who wants to be in?
that
Because
that's one of the things that Tyler was alluding, is that we will have tracking mechanisms via links that will
yeah, I said
indicate.
earlier we have a code links, but then whoever uses that code link, uh, you're telling me that code link is not public, that you have to vet whoever responds to your post. Is that what you're saying?
So no, we haven't finalized what the workflow is going to look like, and this is something that's all going to be an iterative journey. It's not something like, right now we don't have any amount of scale where I have any concern of about us getting blacklisted on social media, but it's one of the things that we need to be thoughtful of when we're talking about best practices. And this is one of the things, as we continue to explore and experiment. And there's already a lot of published best practices as far as how to engage in social media. Like, really, a lot of the magic should happen in social media, in my opinion, via DMs. And it's a very different conversation when you're inviting somebody via a DM to join a paid member community, versus just sending a link out and says, "Hey, join this paid member community so that I can get an
Um,
affiliate commission." It's a
hey,
very different thing from an ethos standpoint. Go ahead, Tyler.
okay, number one, Brooke is melting, so I'm gonna need to go in a minute. But Amy, I hear what you're saying. I have a similar concern of um, they click on my link, but then they put that you're the referrer, and then whatever. I mean, there's a lot of ways that this thing just needs to get automated so it's all clean, and it's not up to them to it's not up to the buyer to always do that. We'll get it automated. We just need to figure out exactly how to do it to make sure that it's really clean, and that's it. Like we'll get it figured out.
And while we're early, like, the most important thing is just being launching responsibly. And this is something that, we can share, because, I'm not we're not at a point here where we're gonna, like, put a couple buttons to say, "Hey, join aiagents.box," and we're gonna have hundreds of people joining. And that's another reason that we're limiting the amount of founding members to be 100, so that we can really get these processes refined and dialed in so that we can more confidently say, okay, now we're ready to onboard the next 1,000 people. We're going to flip the switch from phase 0, our alpha phase, to phase 1, our beta phase, where we can look to onboard the next 1,000 people into our member community. So anyway, I'm going to stop the screen share. We're already 9 minutes past our scheduled time. Anybody want to share some final thoughts before we bring this a wrap tonight? Not hearing anything. So until next time, we've got our iLocal FYI at 4 Mountain Time, 6 Eastern Time tomorrow. Very looking forward to that conversation. And it's an exciting time to be alive. Love what we're building. Until next time, friends.
Have a good night.
Night, guys.